a huge welcome and thank you for being here. So just turn off any noise, guys. If you've got notifications on your computers and stuff like that, your phone, if you are, well, the thing is, I've got 3 kids, so I do have a lot of back noise. I can't just turn off. But if there is somewhere that you can go and sit that's nice and quiet and you can just chill out for the next kind of 45 minutes to an hour, then that would be wicked. And just try and maybe get a notebook and pen and scribble some things down as I'm speaking through it. It has been recorded, but it's always really cool to be able to ask questions as well at the other end, because obviously I don't get to see all of you all of the time. Some of you are my clients, which is lovely. You're coming on and supporting me, which is amazing. But some of you I don't get to speak to. So this is your opportunity. You've got me. Please ask questions. I love questions. And the sound of my dulcet tones after a while is going to be too much to handle. So it would be awesome if you could get some questions going. Okay. So in case you don't know me as well, I'm not going to go through my entire story, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of a breakdown about why I'm here, why I'm talking to you, why I feel credible enough to even be speaking to you as well. My name is Jennifer Hardy. I live in Scotland in the UK with my 3 kids and my hubby, and my dog called Bruce Springsteen. That is his real name, believe it or not. And we take him to the vet and they actually shout out that entire name and then get quite embarrassed. If you don't know who Bruce Springsteen is, he's one of my favourite artists. Please go and have a little look. You will absolutely love him. And I'm a digital marketing strategist, 6-figure coach, published author, writer, and speaker, and newly, to add to that, philanthropist. And I love that part about what I do. In fact, it's the reason why I do what I do. I want to be able to give back. I want to be able to give people opportunity that sometimes maybe don't have them in every capacity. So that is me. What you're going to learn on here is my journey to 5-figure months. And then of course, that epic January where we did a 65k month and what that looked like, and what I actually had to do to get there. It wasn't overnight by any means. If I could have done it overnight, I would have tried. I want to show you the exact strategy that I used as well. Like, I want to break down the pieces of the puzzle that got me to where I needed and wanted to be. How to create epic free content. So I'll give you a couple of tips on how I go around creating things like this. You know, how did I know that people would want to listen to this? How did I know that the last funnel that I made was incredible and people wanted to opt into that freebie? Well, I do know because I do some research. I'm going to teach you and talk to you hopefully about that tonight. And fingers crossed you can actually utilize that and put it into action. And the importance of list building. People say you don't need to list. I am going to beg to differ and say that I think you do need a list, not initially, not from maybe 10, 20, 30k months, but if you want to scale that, then I believe that you have to have people that are on your list waiting for your products and services to be launched. A community as well is really, really helpful. I'll talk a little bit about that too. And hold on till the end, guys, okay? Don't go anywhere, please, except if it's for a little bit, a cup of tea or something like that, and a biscuit, because I have got a couple of freebies just for you. And I'm also giving away, I don't know if you've seen my new Funnel Fruition. I'll talk a tiny little bit about that at the end, but I'm actually giving away a scholarship place for Funnel Fruition, which is $400 for the next couple of hours, and then it goes up to $500 anyway. So you could win something worth $400, which could completely change your business. If you've already purchased it and you're on this webinar and you win, because I'll choose it at random, I won't tell you how yet, I'll tell you at the end, then don't worry, you will just get your investment refunded, okay? So I want to make it fair for everyone that is entering. So let me give you a little bit of my story, the roller coaster of what is Jen Hardy's life. I was not always into funnels and digital marketing and I suppose writing to a certain extent, but my journey actually started in musical theatre. I was on stage since I can remember, since I was a baby. I actually put something up that was quite funny the other day. I think, what was it that was on, the Grammys or the Emmys or the Olivia Awards, something to do with musical theatre. And there was a song called 8 Shows a Week. And I think that is really definitely where I got my work ethic from, because, you know, being in that environment in theatre arts is really quite hard, not just because you're putting your mind and your mental state through a lot each and every day, because you're putting yourself out there to be judged constantly, aren't you? But also it's grueling. It's really, really grueling. You work really super hard. And I definitely think that's got something to do with what then transpired when I started my very first business. So you can see me here, and on the left-hand side, when I'm with my husband, Matt, I was really tired at this point. Okay, so what had happened was I was doing theatre, everything was going really good. I'll jot back a little bit. I actually had my son when I was 21. And that was quite young, so I couldn't do theatre anymore, and I had to find a way of making money. Okay, I didn't want to, I actually split with his dad as well. I didn't want to have to rely on my family to look after me or anything like that at all. I still wanted to be a kind of independent woman. So I started a business. I had no business know-how whatsoever. I just kind of hired this little ghetto blaster, hired a church hall, didn't even advertise, which is the most hilarious thing. Just expected all these children to turn up to my little musical theatre class that I decided I was going to run. Okay, so this is my first business. I was really young, really naive. By word of mouth in the playground, a couple of kids turned up, which was fab. And I was like, wow. And I can actually remember the first song we did was Katy Perry's Firework. I'm sure it was. I'm sure that was the first song, because I'm actually doing a speaking event, a free speaking event. I was meant to do it last month, but things got crazy. So I'm going to do it soon. And I've got a live band for my speaking, my business speaking event. I know you're going, what on earth? But it's going to be epic. So if you see me advertising it again, it's going to be called Powerhouse. Please register and come and see me. It'll be in London if you can make it. Anyway, I digress. So I've got kids there, I'm teaching. There's only a couple though. I'm not making money because of course the church hall itself was much more expensive than any other church hall in the whole of my area. Again, that was just me making silly mistakes, because I had no business education behind me at this point. I literally learned everything the hard way. Anyway, scaled that business massively. We ended up having loads of schools. We had a kids ballet school. We had adults theatre classes. We had it in like 5, 6 different areas. It was huge, okay? It was really, really huge, and it was amazing. And then I fell pregnant with my little girl, Ruby, and she was my middle child. Things were still okay. I was working at this time around about 90 hours a week. I was very, very tired. I wasn't only just running my schools, okay, which had hundreds of children at this point, so which obviously means hundreds of parents to also deal with. I also was choreographing, directing, producing, doing a little bit of writing, loads of other things, okay. I was also working for the NHS at this time too, and I was really, 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 really tired all of the time. But I just thought that's what you did. I thought that's what I had to do. I had to work hard to get to where I want to be, and that's the way that you had to do it. I had no kind of outward plan of what was going to happen next whatsoever. It was just like, I'm just going to keep on keeping on and hope that something miraculously changes within my life. Anyway, something did. So it was, at this point, I also opened up some agencies. So I had another business entirely. I was investing in some other businesses too. So I just had that entrepreneurial bug biting me. And I also started a network marketing business as well, because that's what you do when you find out you're pregnant with your third child. So I kind of dabbled a little bit. I had all my businesses. Again, a week before I gave birth, I was standing on a stage choreographing stuff. It was The Wizard of Oz, actually, and had all my other businesses to run at this point too. Yeah, it was a bit crazy. But I had Joya, and that's when things turned a little bit sour. Let's just say I fell really, really ill after having her with post-traumatic stress and postnatal depression. The stress came because little Joya actually stopped breathing when she was being born, and then again she stopped breathing the day after I got her out of the hospital. And yeah, it wasn't a good time at all. So when I got really ill and I was in my bed, I couldn't get up and even feed Joya. I couldn't interact with any of my kids. I couldn't interact with any of my family. I just wanted to be in my bed. And the crisis unit got phoned in, and they came to me, came to my side. And I can just remember this guy, his name was Ricky, saying the words, "I want to make things okay for you." And I asked him, am I going to be okay? I don't know if anyone has suffered from any kind of mental illness or anything like that, any depression. You know, it's so difficult. It's so unlike you. It's not you. You know, you're there in shell, but you're not there in spirit at all. And he said those words, and I asked him, you know, am I going to be okay? And he said, I'm going to try my best to make sure you are. And that was all I actually had to hear. Now, people had come in and said this in different ways, but just in that moment, at that time, something clicked. And I got out of my bed and I went through to the kitchen, first time in a while. And I sat with him, and he made me draw out a list of all my businesses and when I was working and when I had time to do things for me and my family. And he spread it all out on the table, and he said, Jen, normally people have one A4 sheet of paper. What is this? You know, like he was amazed. He's like, you're not Superwoman. He's like, something has to change. And I was like, yeah, you're right, something has to change. And so I then decided to go on this path of kind of self-discovery. And I was thinking, you know, how am I going to put all my skills into the one thing? All the marketing skills I'd learned when I was doing my MLM business. By the way, that actually went really well. When I started to get better, it was one of the things I held on to, was my little network marketing business, and I ended up being the top 10 in Scotland, scaled it really fast, and it was awesome. And what I did do was let go of all the other businesses. So here I was just with one little business, and I was like, oh, this is weird. But it was awesome. It gave me a focus. I got myself better. I did a lot of meditation. I actually just discovered meditation for the first time, started to move my body, started to eat a lot better. I chose not to take drugs. That was just a choice that I made. I think that if you take them and if you need to, go for it, yeah? But I tried other things first, and thankfully, thank the Lord, it worked for me. And I got better and better and better and better and better. And then I started thinking, right, okay, something has to change. What am I going to do? And then the picture of here of me smiling is last year. I had this photo shoot done that last year when I decided that I was going to go all in this coaching business that I am now sitting in front of you guys talking about. I wanted to create community. I wanted to give something back. So the years that I've had of running businesses, by the way, lots of ups, lots of really positive stuff, also loads and loads of failures as well. All right. So I'm not trying to sit here and say that I've had the most beautiful business journey. It's not been like that at all. And I think that is actually a really good thing, because it shows you guys that I am able to get back up and brush myself down and keep on going. And yes, in fact, we here are unstoppable. So yeah, you can see me, I'm smiling, I'm better, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling more at ease, and I'm now starting to actually run a business the way that I want to run a business, on my terms, on my time scales, and getting paid my worth for a change. I've just got this picture in here because your why is so important. The thing that really probably got me out of my bed in that day was the thought that my kids weren't getting to see me. And I knew that I had to change everything about my life for them, and my big dog, Bruce, as well. So I think if you've got a really strong why, it's much, much easier to pick yourself back up when there's a storm. And there will be many storms through your journey of entrepreneurship, I can tell you. It is a massive roller coaster, but the highs so outweigh the lows. For example, now I'm just about on Sunday to go away with my kids for 4 weeks in the summer. Yes, I'm going to be working, but I'm only going to be working 2 or 3 days of the week, which is incredible. And it's been in quite a short period of time that I've managed to do that. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, so the first thing I did was build a community. It was called That's My Crown at the time. We started doing network breakfasts. It was very community like orientated. It was here in Glasgow, so very small reach of people. But I knew I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted to serve the world. I knew there was something bigger and I had a bigger mission. I wanted to start a scholarship fund for women who wanted to start their own business, who wanted to invest in training. I wanted to do all that stuff. But by keeping it small scale, I didn't know how to. So I took on my first coach, who you see in this picture, the beautiful Ruth Miller. And that was, I'm going to show you my timelines, but I think that was in February last year was the first time I took on a coach. And here we are here. When I started working with her, I understood and realized that you could actually really begin to broaden your horizons. And by coming digital and by coming onto the digital space, you could really change things up. So yes, I had used digital media for my other businesses, and I had marketed and stuff like that, but I just was starting out on my coaching business. So I was like, right, how does this work for me? How can I get my passions and things that I do out to the people that I want to serve the most? I'm going to tell you how, but these were the first little freebies I made and came up with for people, and people started to be like, oh, wow, that sounds pretty awesome. I'm going to go and check her out. And very, very slowly we built a community. And now, as you can see, so much has happened. And now I'm about to share with you 65K in 2 days, which sounds crazy, but that's because it is. But I want to show you, like I've now written, I've been featured in some really cool places. That's me with my mum and my auntie Liz actually picking up an ambassadorship for Scottish Ambassador for the Ladies of All Nations International, which is, it's amazing. It's so awesome. And now we've got the podcast and we've got the TV show and stuff as well. All platforms that I launched so that you guys can come and shout about your business. So I built a community where you can share what you do, no problem at all. There's live trainings in there. There's all sorts of really cool stuff. That's what the podcast show is for. That's what the TV show is for as well. So please, if you've not wanted to join us before and any of that stuff, jump into the pinned post in the Unstoppable page, and all the details of how to reach out for that should be in there. It's just info@jenniferhardy.me anyway, and then there is application forms for the TV show and for the podcast show. All right, but anyway, some stats. The online market is booming, right? Really, really exciting. 96% of online users based in the States shop online. Crazy. All right. So if you're someone right now who's got a product or a service and you're not on the digital space yet, or you're not marketing yourself properly on the digital space yet, you are leaving money on the table. All right. 87% in the UK. That is huge. Okay. So it's 67% of millennials, which obviously we can imagine. 56% of Gen Xers prefer to shop online rather than in store. And 41% of baby boomers and 28% of seniors will also click to purchase. These numbers are growing every single day. And I wanted to show you this. I love this image so much. This is the interweb. Look how much stuff is going on in the world. Look at all those connections. Look at all those little jigsaw pieces, all those wires of someone away over on the left-hand side here beaming over to someone on the right. It's insane. It's beautiful. It's incredible. But what I think is even more exciting is when you're here, in my opinion, there doesn't have to be competition. It's collaboration. You don't have to worry about someone stealing your spot, because you each have your own unique space. Some more stats, because I love some stats. What entices them to purchase online? Okay, now this is really useful no matter what area of business you're in. Product, service, even bricks and mortar just about to come online, yeah? If you're just about to come online, this is really exciting because you don't have to kind of make any mistakes. It's here, written out. What entices them to purchase online? Reviews and ratings, testimonials. Are there people saying, I got something from that person and it was epic? Yeah? Credibility and trust is up there. People always come to me and they say, how can I build credibility? I'm just starting my business. Reviews, ratings, testimonial. That's one way of building credibility and trust right there. Also though, get yourself out there. Start to speak on stages, start to speak on podcast shows, start to go into other people's communities, for example, and talk about your product or your service. Gain people's trust, let them see you. People don't buy into a product or service per se, but they do buy into people. All right. Overall content. So of course that makes sense. You know, overall, what is the thing they're going to purchase? If they love it, they're going to buy it. Simple as that. The image is attached, which is really interesting. So you think if you've got a business or a product, service, doesn't matter, whatever it is, what is the images that you're portraying on your social media platforms, on your website? Does it scream high end? Does it scream, you know, quality, maybe even luxury? Really think about the things that you're putting out there. Are you happy with the images that you have? Do you have a branded kind of photo shoot where you can show yourself at your best? You know, all these things really matter. And it's actually a fact that that's something that entices people to purchase online. Vouchers or free offers. 81% people opted in for a free bonus discount voucher on initial intro to the company. Okay, that makes epic amounts of sense for me, because everyone that's probably ended up being a client of mine, possibly not every single person, but I would say 95% have came through some sort of free opt-in. Whether it be a webinar, whether it be a free gift I was giving away, whether it be my free community. So there's a lot in that. And why do the minority not like purchasing online? Okay, so this is more per product, I suppose. Paying for shipping, they don't like that. Okay, so you've got a product-based business, try and figure out a way of not having to put shipping on it. Not being able to touch, feel and hold, okay? That means you can't really do anything about that, but what you can do is in your copywriting, in your language, in your images, you can portray touch, feel, hold. I've actually just said it, physical product, the importance of copywriting, yeah? You have to be able to write in your client or customer, your potential client and customer's language, yeah? You have to really be able to sell on paper, not just in person. So that's copywriting. Waiting for delivery. But then when we are doing stuff online, if it's something, a service or something like that, delivery can be quite quick. Getting sidetracked by too much choice, okay? So that would say to me, make sure that when you're putting products together or your packages or whatever, start small and just have some really strong packages in place. Maybe even just one, maybe even just two, so as not to confuse, because people like to have all clean and clear and very, very easy to understand and read, and user-unfriendly pages and websites, okay? So it's important, make sure your pages and your websites are all optimized and it's super simple for people to look for you. So SEO, search engine optimization, make sure that your website is easily searchable and can be, you know, used on mobile and everything else, yeah? So I just thought that would be brilliant to throw in there for you as a little hint and tip. So why this 65K in one day webinar? Have you seen ads like this, guys? How I made 100K in a day, 50K sitting on the beach having margaritas, $1 million with ease and flow. Have you seen those kinds of claims? I want you to jump in the comments and let me know, and I'm just going to escape a little second because I want to see you guys. Oh, Dajana, 89% Sweden. Once or twice, Wendy says, once or twice. Who else has seen those kind of claims? I really want to know. Who else has seen them? Anyone? Lots and lots. Saw one yesterday. There you go, Shannon. Lots and lots. Okay, brilliant. So you have seen them. You know what I'm saying. You can see them all the time. And if you were like me, no doubt when you did see them, you were thinking things like, how? It must be lies. It must be absolute nonsense. I'm trying really hard. I'm doing everything that that I think I should be doing, but I'm nowhere near it. And actually what I used to think a lot was, I'm just giving up. I'm not doing this anymore, because how can anyone make 65K in a day? It's insane. And it doesn't happen. And I don't believe them. Okay, so tell me, has anyone ever felt like that? Has anyone felt like, this is not happening for me? I don't get it. What is going on? Why is this so hard? Why are these people making these claims? How are they doing it? How on earth are they actually doing it? Again, I'm going to escape because I want to see you guys and your comments. Have you felt like that? Oh, you're saying yes on a daily basis. No, don't say that. Yeah, I know though. I know exactly how you feel. I really, really honestly do. You never see the bottom of the iceberg or the journey to the top. Exactly. So that is what I'm going to show you guys, I hope, tonight. All right, so let's debunk it. I mean, the good news is, okay, when you do see some of these claims, it is almost always true, because I can't imagine them getting away with saying things like that and it being lies. I mean, it's hard to regulate, let's be honest, yeah? But integrity-wise, I don't even know why you would want to lie, because, you know, if you were asked by someone that came on a call with you, can you show me your figures? You'd be like, no. But it is almost true. Like, I know people who've done shed loads more than me, 100K days, things like that. But it's not as straightforward as some people make out. And I think that's the thing. Sometimes people say it and it's actually across lots of different parts of their business. It's not just like in one place. But I want you just to think, you know, things like, you know, how long have they been established? And I don't just mean established in possibly this new business. So let's say they jump into this field or this new business they're in, and it looks as if they've just went, whoa, they've skyrocketed. But please think, what about their journey before that? You know, what kind of things were they doing beforehand that has came to that success? What has happened that's made it easier for them to get there? And there will normally always be a path for them. You cannot compare your journey to anyone else's journey. You just can't. You know, especially if you're going from something completely different to starting this brand new business, you've got you've not got an audience for it, you've never done it before, so you're learning all the ropes, versus someone that's done a business before and they sold scarves and now they're selling jumpers. And then the jumpers just goes, whew. Do you see what I mean? I hope that analogy, whatever I'm trying to say, makes sense, okay? So please don't worry about things like that. Everyone has their own journey, and, you know, sometimes you have to be a little bit patient. Sometimes you have to be a little bit patient bringing all this stuff together. Cash in bank versus sales. So you could do technically 100K month, but actually you've only banked X amount of that. But on paper, you could still say that you've done it. Does that make sense? So say, for example, you've got contracts or you've got subscriptions or things like that. You can go high end, and lots of people do this and make the claim that they've done, you know, a much higher amount. They have done it. They've got the contract signed. The money will come in, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that money is banked, all right? So just keep that on your top of your head as well when you see all these claims popping up. The size of the list and audience, okay? Easy for someone to release a product that they've been working months and months on to an audience of thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are waiting on that product, versus the person who comes in with a tiny list, you know, a list of 10 people and launches a product they've been working a day on, okay? Please just think of these things before you get like completely either carried away going, no, I'm giving up. But also when you see some of these big claims, you can be like, is there more to it than meets the eye? Okay. And I just love this quote. Everything is possible for the person who has faith. I always say, faith it until you make it. If you're driven enough, if you're passionate enough, if you don't mind a little bit of hard work, if you don't mind the roller coaster, if you have a mission out with material things, and if you have a strong enough why, and if you have faith, you are going to make it. You are going to be able to change your world and change the world for everyone else in it as well. Okay? So have faith. I just wanted to jump this slide in here and show you a breakdown of how to make 1 million. Okay, you've got this. This is what you need. I'm not going to talk through it all, but I just want you to have a little look. So I'm going to go right down to the bottom one here. 300 people to buy a $3,333 product, or to pay $278 per month for 12 months. Okay? It is pretty incredible. Or, right up at the top there, 5,000 people to buy a $200 product, or to pay $17 per month for 12 months. Now, if I want to do it the 5,000 people way, because my products are a lower cost, and I need a list, and I need a community, and I need people's eyes on me, and I need to invest in money in ads. 300 people down here at the bottom, I have got high-end products, and some of you listening will no doubt have high-end products as well. 300 people doesn't sound that much, but again, you still need a list. You still need people watching what you're doing. You still need to have people know, like, and trust, yeah? My timescales. Okay, let's rock and roll. I've got literally 15, 20 minutes left with you guys, okay? So February 2017 is when I collaborated with my first coach. I had a list of 80 people, okay? An email list of 80 people. I did have a community as well. I can't even remember how many people were on that, but it was a like page and a little closed community, but it was health and business, okay? So I knew that I was going to go into this female empowerment, female coaching. I knew that I was going to start teaching out lots of different business concepts and digital marketing as well, because I love it and I'm so passionate about it. And funnels, when I started getting to grips with funnels, I was like, oh, this is one of my things. I love building funnels, and people are going to be like, oh my goodness, how can anyone get so excited about a funnel? But I do. But there we go. I collaborated with my first coach. It was February, and I had a list of 80 health and business people on it. May 2017, affiliate with my first coach and launched my first funnel. Again, I didn't have a list as such. It was health and business people. It wasn't, you know, clients that were going to buy anything that I was going to launch in the future, not at all. But then I actually did an affiliate program with my coach. And I took on, within a few weeks, my first few clients. I launched my business and took on my first few clients. And in course sales and my affiliate sales with my coach, I made my first 10K month. Now, that is because I launched a high-end product, and it was a high-end cost, okay? It wasn't $100 or $200. In fact, I think it was about $2.5K at the time. And I signed up maybe 3 VIP clients. And it was this 12-week one-to-one coaching program that I had set out. So you can see there, even although I didn't have a big list, a lot of the people that were involved in the health and wellness and business coaching side of things, so they were business builders, so they were team, were actually interested in what I was doing. So I had a couple of people come over from there, and then I think one came from social media and me just putting it out there too. Now, like I said, I did have a little bit of a following because I was doing obviously I had the theatre schools, and I had just doing the network marketing, and I was doing some theatre here and there, you know, so I did have people watching me, but not necessarily watching me because I was going to do what I'm doing now, if that makes sense. But it didn't come from nothing, all right? I did have people there, and this is just what I'm trying to get across. Mid-June, so yeah, course sales affiliate was 10K month. But at this point as well, I had 89, so this must have just been a little bit after, 89 dream clients. So I had launched the first funnel in May, and then I must have had 89 dream clients from that. I'm trying to think, the first funnel was Make Waves Online, the ultimate guide to growing your business online. And it was a workbook and a work guide. So that is how I built that list. Now, when I say dream clients, what I mean is If those people are opting into something like that, then they obviously could be doing with my skill and my strategy and my course or my program. And this is why I'm saying dream clients. I'm not just wanting to build lists of any Tom, Dick and Harry. I want to build lists of people that actually want to collaborate. Of course, that's what I love, but might also want to buy my product or service, even if it's not right now, possibly in the future. And that is what I want you guys to be doing as well. So July to November, I was list building. I was doing more free opt-ins and I was nurturing. So I was building my community, the Unstoppable Mastermind it's called. I was building that community. And the next time I do something like this, I'm going to try and put the numbers of people that are in the community as well. But it's kind of relevant to the email list, to be honest. Yeah, so at this point I had 340 dream clients looking at what I was doing in my community, obviously, as well, and being nurtured by me. So that was in the form of emails. It was in the form of me actually reaching out and saying, do you want to jump on a call? Let's have a quick virtual coffee. And yeah, I was releasing lots of free value as well for people. I'm trying to think what my other ones were. What were my other things? Other freebies. Can't remember when the six-figure funnel was. That did really well, but I think that was a little bit later on. I did some meditations at one point too, like higher self and financial abundance ones. So stuff that was still relevant to me. Yeah, I need to go back and look at what my free content was. So in November, that's when I did my 22K in 2 days. And I had 700 plus dream clients at that point. And that was really exciting. I was probably maxed out actually with VIP clients. I was doing a group program. I did I did a 5-day little course as well. So there's quite a few things that I did in November to get there. And then, as you can see, December came, and December was hard. December, there was nothing going on really for me at all. So I used December to really get my head down and I worked my bum off, okay? So when everyone else was slowing down in December, I was speeding up. And I did, and I had some awesome content ready to release in January. And that's when 65K in 1 day happened. I released quite a few things at the one time. That wasn't actually what I did in the month. It was more than that within the month, but that's what came in 1 day. Okay. I know that you're thinking this is a little bit like, oh my goodness, but if you look, and actually these are quite small list numbers. These lists aren't big lists. All right. People have hundreds and thousands of people on their email list. This is me growing a list considerately and carefully and concise, to make sure that the people that I am reaching out to want and need my product. Okay, I'm going to go through that in a little bit more detail. Here are my services. I wanted to be really open and honest. And when I did it, this was my services. This is how much I was charging for stuff. So my one-to-one went up to around about 8K. Obviously, there was payment plans available for that as well. Done for you was 19K. So that was literally me doing everything for people, like doing their website, like doing all the copy, everything. I launched my Success Queens 12-month program, which was $12,000. Group coaching I had going on as well, which is now the Academy. An intensive day. I obviously launched my retreats. So Mykonos was coming up. And I was also doing affiliate products. And what I mean by that is if you are using any of the services online, Zoom, Lead Pages, Fiverr, Creative Market, what else do I get? Acuity, and Amazon, for example. If you're using anything like that, you can become an affiliate and actually get a payment off of everyone that signs up under your recommendation, okay? But also affiliate collaborations. So I had seen the value in actually taking on other people's programs and shouting about their stuff too, and then taking an affiliate fee. Okay, so obviously I did it once right back at the beginning. I started to do it a lot more, kind of November, December, January time. So that, to be really transparent, is how it all added up. You can see all those things that I had at the point. You know, I didn't just wake up in the morning with one product and do that figure. I didn't just spend one day, you know, waking up and going, oh, I'm a day into my business. Let's do this. I don't know of anyone that has made that kind of money overnight just by launching their business in like a week or a month. You could prove me wrong, no doubt. There probably is superstars out there that can do that, but I just wanted tonight to be very kind of realistic, and for you to be like, okay, so the 10k ones and the 15 and 20, totally possible for me if you've just started. If I want to scale, then I need to scale. I'm going to show you some things, okay, and help you do that. So let me talk about the outgoings as well, because that figure looks brilliant. 65k, wow, yeah. That looks insane, it looks amazing. I've got team, okay? Social media manager, virtual assistant, web and logo designer. Also now got Facebook ad strategist, and I've got my own coaches too. I'm constantly investing in myself, and I invest a lot of money. I've just recently invested, I say over 20k. Yeah, sounds insane, but I want to learn. Like, I'm like a sponge. I want to learn everything. And you know what's really nice actually, sometimes when you go onto these business meetings and you're talking to some of the biggest players in your field, and you're actually part of the conversation because you know what you're talking about, and you feel skilled, and you feel in control because you have got something to bring to the table, you know. That feels amazing, but that comes through learning and through being okay about actually having to take time out to up level yourself. So platforms that I use, I've got my course back office, I've got lead pages and Zoom and Vimeo, Facebook ads. We've spent, I think just last month, about 2.5k on Facebook ads. I've obviously got my small office, my electric, things like that. Personal development, I go to events, conferences, up-leveling retreats. I do programs and courses, and of course I've got my own one-to-one coach, which is soon to be 2. And I've had a coach since I started in my journey, and tax and national insurance, and I've just wrote there, cry. All right. So you can all of a sudden see, right, that looks amazing, but look at all this stuff, yeah, that bulks it out to make something like that happen. So this is really exciting. Okay, I want to talk about my actual system. I've not got my chat box up, so I can't see your guys' questions, but I promise I will jump back in and have a little look. So stay with me, guys. You want to go and jump and get a glass of water. Hopefully just going to be another 10 minutes with you. But I hope that you're getting value, and I hope you're getting some faith, and I hope you're getting really excited as well about what's to come for you guys. So, first of all, I had my products, yeah? So I thought about what is my products going to be? What are they going to look like? How am I going to package them? How am I going to write about them? How am I going to make sure that this product sells, okay? Or my service sells? The best way of doing that is to actually ask them. So reach out to who you think at this moment is your dream client or your dream customer, and ask, what is it that you struggle with when it comes to your thing in there, or your idea, yeah? What is it that you would have you, or what is it that you would adore to see when it comes to into your product or service in there, yeah? Asking lovely questions, open-ended questions, so you can get as much information back as possible about your service or product, yeah? I recommend having something like a tripwire and a low price, mid, high end and luxury offer, okay? And of course, freebies. Freebies. So does it solve a problem and help transform someone else's life? That's the question I want you to be thinking when it comes to your product or service. Does it solve a problem and help transform someone's life? The answer to that question is yes. Next thing I want you to ask yourself is, what is the transformation? Now, whether you're talking about your freebie here that you just want to give out to test your water, or whether you're actually talking about your luxury high-end package, same questions apply, yeah? Your dream client, you need to research your dream client. You need to look at your competitors and audience insights at the back end of Facebook is obviously an incredible way of doing that. It gives you some beautiful data. But actually, there's a really easy way that you can look at your competitors, and it's jumping on their pages. What are they selling that's similar to you? What products do they have that sell time after time after time that is similar to you? Because if there's people out there already making, I was going to swear, I'm not going to, a ton of money from selling something that is similar to what you have, then you know your idea works. You just need to figure out what that USP is for you and how you can bring your personality into it. So research competitors and have a little look at who your dream client is. So does your current audience, got a little spell and typo in there, want or win at what you have? If not, let's go and find them. So if your client or customer, if you've tested the water already and you're like, it's not selling, either you're in front of the wrong client and customer, or you have to tweak your product or service. And I've had to do that many times as well. Don't be scared of knowing that you have to tweak. You know, I see people and they spend so long building out the most beautiful services, and they spend so much time on their products, and actually it needs tweaked. So what I would say to you always is test the water first. Test. And then when you're getting bite, I like to say, when people are going, oh, yeah, that's something I would love. When's that going to be released? And they start to get excited about what you've got. Then you can start to think about how you can build that out. Do not build a finished product, please. You can waste your time and money. You need to be building things that you know are going to sell. Creating content, okay, especially when you're on this online space. Quality, helping with many transformations. This assists in your credibility and trust. So this is the free content. Every single client and customer I work with coaches sometimes, but I also work with creatives. Just latterly, I've actually taken on 2 people in the legal profession, and I'm taking on a couple of people that are doing actually product-based stuff too. It doesn't matter what industry or field they're in. This piece of the puzzle of creating free value and content so someone can come and have a look at how you work, how you operate, what your credibility is like, and can start to trust in you is crucial. If I hadn't done this, I wouldn't be anywhere close to where I am now. And that is 100% fact. You must be providing value for people. I see coaches actually, in fact, I was on the phone to a coach, when was it, last week? Someone that's doing like really amazingly well, like way past where I am. She said to me, I've got this new community funnel that I've built out that I love, and I'm going to teach it in the funnel fruition course. And I was telling about it, and part of it is I jump on 30-minute free calls. She's like, you shouldn't be jumping on free calls. You know, you're way above that, beyond that. What? No, that is how I've built my business. I've built my business by having chats with real human beings, getting to know what their problems are, giving them a little bit of value on how I think they can start to solve it, and then going away and creating stuff to give them. That is my business. It's just beyond me that people don't see that, and people think that you're somehow wasting time and money by spending 30 minutes on the phone talking to your dream clients. Yeah, you might hear people say that. Please don't believe them. Connection is absolute key, and collaboration, and having that chance to be able to help someone for no cost, even if it's just a 30-minute or even a 15-minute phone call, is, in my opinion, gold dust. I know what you are thinking, or what the client and customer is thinking when they maybe opt in for your thing, or they have some time with you, as they go, geez, if this stuff is free, the paid stuff must be pretty epic. And that is what you want them thinking. And growing your list. Stop everything I've written. Everything else can wait. I've kind of mentioned this. The course content can wait. Fancy websites can wait. The physical product itself, that can all wait. Everything can wait. I just want you, if you're on here tonight, to go and begin to grow your list so that you can launch and actually be making sales. Instead of having that product or service there waiting, all built out beautifully, and then tumbleweed because there's no one looking at you. There's no one seeing what you have to offer because you've not built a team of people to do that. So whether that's a Facebook community, whether it is the email, like I'm saying, and doing that opt-in thing, whether it is actually networking, so just speaking to people online and starting to add people as friends and tell them about what your plan is and what you're doing. It doesn't matter how you do it, but you must build a community of people that are mad about what you're going to have. And then you need to deliver the results. My clients are my queens and kings. I absolutely adore every single one of them. I love them. We become really good friends. I let my barriers down massively. And, I would say that I'm mostly 80% professional, but I'm me. I'm a human being as well. And I like to have fun, and I like to sometimes go a bit crazy, and that's okay, and that's me. And if people didn't like it, or they don't like it, then they would probably not work with me in the first place. Create an experience like no other. Yeah, you want to be making sure that the people that you're working with, you deliver such incredible results that they are so excited maybe to go on to a follow-on program that you have for them, or they're going to be singing your praises. Okay. Customer care is vital for referral. Yeah, just obviously you know that anyway, but it is like every part of the process. Was it seamless? Was it beautiful? I know that I've still got little bits of flaws, and sometimes some platforms don't work and things like that. But I really try my best at all times to rectify any problems that I know of. And then reinvest. Yeah, so this is the biggest, probably one of the biggest takeaways from tonight. You need to not be scared to know that the money you're going to make has to be put back into your business in order to scale it. So in order to scale, you need things like better platforms. You need to have some photography. You need to have some sort of branding shoot, and you have to do that quite often to keep things fresh. Maybe getting some videos done, whether it's maybe the packaging actually for your product, if that's what you do. Your own self-development, your own coaching journey, who is helping you, guide you through your process at the minute. If you've not got someone doing that, then I honestly believe that it's crucial. I've not wasted time and energy trying to figure things all out on my own. I've had someone be a helping hand and say, do you know what? That's not going to work. Let's try it this way. I've not had to go through that stuff on my own, and it's really, really key. A coach can also be the person that kind of pulls you back in the ring when you've just been knocked out of it. And that will happen because it's entrepreneurship. And yeah, of course, outsourcing, beginning to bring people on board as well so that you can be where you're best spent, bringing on team, bringing in people that can assist you in different roles. I always did this way sooner than what I thought I was going to be able to. So like bringing on a virtual assistant, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? How am I going to be able to pay this person? I've got like the next 3 months, and I was panicking. But for some reason, it changes your game and your mindset, because you're like, do you know what? I've got responsibility here. I need to do my best in order to keep scaling this. Okay, so don't be scared to bring people on board. If you are a bit scared about it, make sure it's either maybe on a trial basis at first or temporary, and that they're self-employed, so you're not having to do like into a big kind of messy contract or anything like that, or you don't have employees. Do it that way and start off really small, like 3 hours a week, just someone to help you, and then begin to grow as you grow. Go big and don't go home. Create new self-studies, automated funnels that sell themselves now that your credibility and professionalism has been built. So go to the start of this process and grow, grow, grow. So go to the start of this system, guys, and I want you to put it into practice. Begin putting it into practice, yeah? Because I promise you, at the other side, I can't even speak anymore. At the other side of whatever it is that's holding you back right now is the most incredible life that you can possibly imagine. And yes, it does come with some dips, but the highs massively outweigh the lows. So let me see if there's anyone still with me. And does anyone have any questions? Wendy's going, you did a 5-day mastermind course. Oh, thank you so much. What is a tripwire? A tripwire, hun, is, well, my tripwires are normally always free, all right? So I call them my freebies. But you can also do a tripwire that's a really, really low cost thing. So you might do something like a workbook and guide that is, you know, something quite robust, and you'll sell it for $9.99, you know, something like that. But my tripwires, my freebies are always free content. Is some of this what we will be doing in the fruition funnel? Me, I'm thick, sorry. Don't be silly. Please don't say that. You are not thick. You're awesome. And yes, absolutely, hun. We are going to be covering this in Funnel Fruition, which I'm really excited about. Who has questions for me, guys? Please, please, please ask me any questions. In fact, let me stop sharing my screen so that you can see my ginger head. Who has questions? Getting new members on board. Awesome, Dejana. I'm really, really happy about that. Let's see if we've got any other questions up here. It's not about the numbers on the list. It's about the quality and nurturing 1,000,000%, Wendy. It absolutely is. I love this breakdown. It shows how the numbers work. Yeah, it absolutely does. Thank you, Charlotte. This is so true. And yep. Any more questions, guys, from anyone watching? I would love to hear them. What's the one thing you would do differently? It's the one thing I would do differently. Is it at the beginning of my journey, do you mean, hun? Is it the beginning of the journey? Yes. At the beginning of my journey, I would stop worrying about what everyone else has got to say about me. Because I had a lot of that. I had a lot of fear around what people were going to say, and I had a lot of fear around failing, because in order to do what I did, I knew that I had to build an audience of people, and I don't really know what the failure or where that was coming from, or like what part I felt as if I could have failed at. But it was definitely fear of failing was huge for me. I was like, oh my God, I can't fail doing this. And at the time when I was leaving my other company, people were really not being very nice to me. They were saying things like, how are you going to go and do coaching, and just not being very nice people. And so I had to, internal noise, yeah. So I had to go through quite a lot of mindset stuff. So if I think maybe that's what I would do a little bit differently, I would maybe start my journey with a little bit more kind of oomph and be like, you know what? I do freaking deserve all that I desire. I do freaking deserve to have the most incredible clients, because I'm willing to put everything that I possibly can into them. Yeah, that's probably what I would change. Apart from that, I don't think I would change anything. I started off really small. I was really concentrated, and I grew. We have grown, like, it's been insane the last few months, and we have scaled really quickly, and that got me a little bit worried in itself. And these are all things that you're going to come up against. That got me a little bit worried. I was like, oh my goodness, we're scaling so fast. I had so much money that I had to put back into the business, because obviously things like, retreats, they cost a lot of money. They really, really do. And sometimes in the past as well, I've not had my figures all in order because I was just starting out. And sometimes I was like, oh my goodness, this month my outgoings are way higher than my income. And it's a balancing game. So I think that's another thing, getting really clear on your income and outgoings, like from the get-go. That's something else I'd probably change. Kirsten, I have tumbleweed at the moment. Okay, so let's think about how we can change that. Are you doing all the things that you could possibly do to get yourself out there? Are you appearing on some podcasts? Are you going and speaking about what you do at events, at business breakfasts, etc., etc., etc.? Are you creating new free content for people to grab onto? Are you networking in other social media groups as well? Are you dropping your links? All these kind of things. It was a question. What was the question? How to get new members on board? Is that what you mean? How to get new members on board? If that is the question, how to get new members on board, is continue to create value and content and get it out there to people that are your dream clients, not just clients that don't really want or need your service. Where to start when onboarding? Okay, well, so when you're onboarding new members, so where to start when onboarding new members? Well, I like to send out things like, I hope this is me answering this question properly. I send out a discovery pack to get to know them a little bit more. I send out a contract. I send out their course schedule. If there is a course schedule involved, I send out their back office logins, all from emails. And then we have an onboarding call where we get to grips with exactly what they want to get out of their time working with me. Hope that makes sense. I'm concentrating on building my community and getting ready to launch. I need to focus on my list. Yes, Joe, 100%. Gemma says, I'm gradually becoming convinced I can do this. Yes, you can do it. You can do it. Of course you can. Stop the comparisonitis. Stop comparing yourself to anyone else. That is what I would 100% say. And just get your head down and focus on your dream and your goal. If that means you have to unfollow people, do it, because that's what I did. What about the comparison fear? Everyone else is so much better. Yeah, I do. I mean, I still get that sometimes now. I still get the feeling that people are so much better than me and my stuff is not of the same quality. You know, I get all that all of the time. However, I need to think of my why. Why am I doing all the stuff that I'm doing? Well, first of all, I want to be seen as a leader and a voice in female entrepreneurship and female empowerment. In order to do that, I need to create results. Yeah, I need to be the one standing up, away from all my fear, even when it's in the back of my head all the time, tackling it head on. That is brave. It's really scary, but it's brave. And I believe that people that are brave get rewarded. And in my one of my whys is obviously I want to do this beautiful scholarship fund for women. In order to do that, I need money. I don't want to be a millionaire just for the sake of being a millionaire and buy a boat. I want to invest in the world. And I would love to ask you guys this question as well whilst you're on here with me tonight. Yes, your mission might be that you want to buy a house and you want to buy a car and you're doing it all for your family and you're maybe doing it for yourself as well, which is awesome. But tell me, how can you change the world? And I know that even maybe a little bit more than this time last year, I didn't really believe I could change the world. This has been something that's grown. Now, 100% wholeheartedly, I know that it's my life's mission to change a small part of the world. And for me, that's going to be through female entrepreneurism and female empowerment. I want you to think of what you would do. What would you do to change the world? My question, which always arises when I see all your grandiose stuff, how do you keep focus on different multi-projects? I have to literally put everything in my diary. On a Monday, I have a day off. So I only work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and normally half day Friday now. I used to work obviously 5 days at the beginning of my journey, 6 days actually sometimes, Monday to Saturday. And then I realised that I couldn't keep up with that. So I had to take the Monday off. And the Monday is very much for me to be in the office and creating. And if I'm doing a new lead page, if I'm doing a new funnel, whatever it is, I go, right, 3 hours I've got to do that. Even if it's not perfect, it goes out. Then you can go back and you can tweak. That's something else I would say. Don't ever try and be perfect. Just try and be as close as you possibly can. And then you can go back and tweak and make it as perfect as you possibly can. Okay? Let me see. How can you get speaking gigs, Jen? I will go over this in Funnel Fruition, but you can get speaking gigs by doing something like a speaker one sheet where everything is laid out really simply for the event. So you talk about the questions that people could ask you or the topics that you can speak on. It's very, very clear about your wins and your mission statement and things like that. And I actually just send emails to different places. And I obviously live in Glasgow, Bridge of Allan, which is just outside Glasgow. So I've got quite a few different cities around me that I can see I can go on Eventbrite. I can go and do a little bit of Google research. Where are there the best speaking gigs going on? Is there any business breakfasts? Whatever. And then I reach out to them and just say, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm all about. And I send a speaker one sheet away to them. Another really nice idea is actually doing a little video intro and adding that into the email too. And the secret is, you don't just send that email and then disappear. You send that email and then you email them until they answer. Even if that's 5 times. That's the key. That's the trick. How do you pick a coach? What do you look for in one? I always look for someone that inspires me, but also someone that's doing the next step. So for example, for me, the next step is I want to do 7 figures. So I found someone, Selena Sue actually, and that is who I'm looking forward to working with, because she's not only that though, she's built a business with massive integrity and credibility. She's got the most beautiful community of people as well who really love what she does, and the content that she puts out is just beautiful and epic. So for me, it was a kind of no-brainer. So I would always try and find someone that you resonate with as well, and you're actually like, do you know what, I could go on with that person. That is really important, but also someone that is just maybe a little bit further on in their journey than you are, is what I would say. But you'll find loads of coaches that you can look into and have a chat. Make sure you have a chat with them as well, even if it's just 30 minutes. I would definitely do that, just to get to know them and get to know what they can offer you, and what their transformation can be for you. Oh, your runny nose. Do you have any advice if you're unable to do breakfast, meal, etc., and you're literally online? If you're literally online, free value, free content all the time. Reaching out and collaborating with other people, so affiliating with other people as well is awesome. So how or where can you go into other people's platforms and talk about what you do? In that way, you're able to leverage other people's audiences. Okay, that's what I would suggest, 1,000,000%. The thing is as well, you need to invest. So if you are just purely online, then I would be looking at also doing things like podcasts, maybe starting your own show if you want, maybe doing a webinar, just like this one. You could do some Facebook ads as well to get yourself out in front of people that don't know you, or that you would never normally be able to reach, except from without doing the apart from if you did the Facebook ads. So that's a really good one as well. Not clients, VA, etc. So Dejana, do you mean where do you find your VA, etc.? Obviously, I've got loads of recommendations and I've got an amazing one, but you can find them in groups. You can find your team. I always make sure that they come recommended. So I normally go into my accelerator, the coaching one that I'm in, and say, does anyone know of anyone who does this? Or even in my own group page. Obviously, I'm in my group page all the time, and I'm always seeing people post, especially when it comes to them posting about their products. And there's always people that I've got my eye on in there too. So I know that, so for example, if I wanted more branding done or something, I knew exactly who I was going to straight away for that. All right. Because they're in my group and I've seen them all the time. I want to share with others how I finally found my motivation to keep and love learning. Love it. Excellent. Yes. How do you pick a coach? I've answered that one. I have a block in my mindset, feeling not qualified enough as I don't have a 4-year degree in the subject I'm teaching. Sounds silly, but it's there. Neither do I, hun. Neither do I. I don't have a degree in business. I've only got life experience and I'm massively self-taught. That doesn't mean that I can provide the most incredible results to my clients, and it does not mean that you can't either, Stacey. So it is a block, and you need to work yourself through that. You really, really, really do. You have got more than enough talent, ability, skill, and credibility to be doing what you're doing, hun. I'd love to show kids how they can change the world by teaching them about mindset and empowerment so they can make a massive impact from the earliest possible opportunity, while still encouraging them to be kids. It's about showing them that the imagination creates some amazing realities and dreams to come true. I love that, Wendy. That is so beautiful. Stacey, with your first coach, what did she teach you? Did you implement all the things in your courses bit by bit or all? Then how did you fill the gaps of your knowledge? Oh my goodness, I could be here all night. My first coach gave me the kind of roadmap, yeah, and there was lots that I didn't actually put into the business because I was like, I don't have time. to do this. I don't have time to do all the back office stuff. I didn't, for my first couple of VIPs, I literally built a couple of days before they started the course with me. So there was lots that I didn't put out there. I was very much into this community thing. So this building a community was huge for me. And that's something that I just went off and done myself. That was maybe just instinct. I actually had already built a small, tiny community with That's My Crown before I even went on to go further. So it's really, really strange how it all started to interlock. How did I fill in the gaps? I learned. Wherever I got stuck, I figured it out myself. I never asked. So when I was working with my coach, if I didn't know how to build a lead page, if I didn't know how to do something in my Google Doc, if I didn't know how to put on an ad, I sat and I figured it out. And I made loads of mistakes. And it's only in the mistakes that you'll actually learn how to build. Okay? So the mistakes that you're going to make by self-learning will be the best mistakes you'll make. It's not about having a degree. Thank you, Wendy. That's really nice and awesome. Excellent. So thank you so much for staying on and asking me some epic questions. I really, really appreciate it. I'm just going to share my screen again with you guys for 2 seconds. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had loads of takeaways and that you can start to really see how you are going to be able to grow your incredible businesses, guys. I am going to be following you because that's what I do. Everyone that's been on here, I'm going to go and check back and look and see what you're all about and what you're doing. I'll be stalking you guys. So I just want to show you this very quickly whilst you're on, okay? Because this is what someone has the ability to win tonight. Funnel Fruition, the 5-day online funnel building workshop. Now, like you have already seen, I do different kinds of various programs, and a lot of them are quite expensive, okay? But not for the amount of value that you're going to get, and not for someone actually helping you build and scale your business. It's actually pretty cheap, right? But anyway, this is the lowest thing that I'll ever do, okay? For you guys tonight, it's actually going to go back up to $500, yeah? But for you guys that are on here tonight, I've left it open and it's only $400. And here's all the things that you get. And you can see it up on the screen just now. You'll get clarity on who you serve. I'm going to give you design hacks. I'm going to teach you how to build 1 to 3 funnels. You want to build them all? Awesome. If you only want to build one, that's cool. A webinar funnel. I'm going to teach you how to build a community funnel. And I'm going to also teach you how to do like a Tripwire freebie funnel as well. I'm going to teach you all the text. I'm going to show you how to actually build it and how to connect it all together. I'm going to give you some swipe files so you're not having to start from scratch. I'm going to show you how to write copy that actually converts your client into a paying client or customer. Traffic, I'm going to show you how to generate traffic to all these things. And I'm going to show you how to make sure that there is engagement in what you're doing as well. And here are the bonuses. Hands-on high-touch help. You have me. And I go all in. And people that have worked with me before will absolutely, completely testify to that. A free trial month for the society. So obviously I've joined forces with the beautiful Natalie at Boss Babes, and I am going to purchase your first free month for you guys so that you've got some extra support in lots of different areas as well, like mindset, ads, things like that too. I'm going to give you my 6-figure email template, my bulletproof discovery call invite copy, and a free 45-minute one-to-one level up call. You're also going to have a community and 2 weeks aftercare where you can keep on asking me any questions that you want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the questions. I can see more questions. Is there more questions popping up? Yes, there is. I am going to drop the link in here for you guys. And I'm going to try and send it to the chat. I don't know why it's... Let's see if it comes in this time, guys. I think I'm just sending it to... I think I'm just sending it to one person, am I? Maybe. I will jump into the chat, guys, I promise, and pop the little link in there. But what I am doing tonight for you guys, let me just stop this share a little second, is I am actually doing a competition. Let me tell you how this is going to work. The fact that you guys are still here and you're still listening to me means the world to me. So let me just share my screen with you guys. Okay, share the screen. Here we go. There you go, guys. There is your link. If you want to sign up, I would love to have you on. There's loads of places already taken, but let me show you how you can jump into the competition as well. So here we go. Basically, what I want you to do is drop into the group page. There's already a thread in there, and comment with your top takeaway, okay? Really, really simple. Obviously I'm going to be sending out some goodies for you as well, some things that I think is going to be really useful for you guys to take your business forward, and I'll do that tomorrow. But if you want to win the $400 Funnel Fruition, try saying that when you've had a glass of wine, Funnel Fruition 5-day program, then you need to jump into the comments on the page and tell us what was your top takeaway. Okay, really, really simple, really, really easy. Fingers crossed you've been noting some things down, and that's going to be super easy for you to do. And out of all those people, I am going to do a little draw. So I'll literally put it in a little hat and I'll shake it around and I'll pick it out, okay? However, if you sign up for it tonight at the $400, because remember it's going to go to $500, if you sign up for it tonight and you do win, don't worry, I will reimburse your investment. So don't think, oh my goodness, I'm not signing up, I really want to do it, but I'm just going to wait to see if I win. I promise that you will get it back. And you'll save yourself $100 if you don't win, okay, by signing up tonight. So I'm probably going to leave the link live for another little while. So if you want in, guys, to the Funnel Fruition, which is going to be absolutely epic, I don't know if I'll ever do it again. I just really wanted to give back. It was something that I thought would be amazing for you guys. And yeah, that's it. So a huge Unstoppable thank you so much for being here with me and for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. You're going to build the most epic businesses. I hope that you have had a fantastic time with me tonight. It starts, someone asked me when it starts. It'll be starting not next week, but the week after. All right. So not next week, but the week after. That's when it will be starting. And I'm going to give you all your course schedule and everything like that, so you know what's happening. But yeah, thank you so much. Please take some of what I've told you tonight and put it in action. I want nothing more than to see you actually going ahead and putting this stuff into action and actually seeing how this can work for you and hitting these big figures. The next thing I want to see is me being on one of your webinars going, what? She's epic. She's outdone me. That's what I want, okay? That is what I want. So I'm going to say, oh my goodness, I need to wait for one more minute because it's 22, just about to go 22, and that would give us all the twos. There we go, and I'm going to end the webinar there. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for listening. I love you all. If you want to speak to me, you know where I am. Jump in a Funnel Fruition if you can. It's going to be the most epic course. I love you all very much. Thank you. Bye.